If you were just going off the headlines, you probably only caught the scuffle, the hard foul, the ejections, and a $400 fine. Sophie Cunningham gets hit with a penalty and the league moves on. At least, that's the version most people saw. But that's not the real story, not even close. Because what looked like a standard on-court scuffle actually unraveled into a $50 million truth the WNBA never wanted you to see. This wasn't about a cheap shot, it was about a system broken. Wide open. A system where one player made more breaking the rules than the league did making them. What followed was so explosive, so revealing. It could shake the foundation of the WNBA itself. Let's rewind to June 17, 2025. The Indiana Fever are blowing out the Connecticut Sun. 88-71. Game's basically over, or so we thought. With seconds left on the clock, things exploded. Caitlin Clark, poked in the eye by Jackie Sheldon, a known rival from her college days. Then in the chaos, Marina Mabrey shoves Clark to the floor. Sheldon gets a flagrant and technical, but Mabrey, no ejection. She stays in the game. That's when something shifted. The refs lost control, and Sophie Cunningham? She stepped in. With just 46 seconds remaining, she delivered a deliberate, no doubt about it, retaliation foul on Sheldon, wrapped her up and dragged her to the floor. The benches cleared. Sophie was ejected. The league slapped her with a $400 fine. End of story, right? Not even close. That $400 fine? It wasn't a punishment. It was an investment. Because in just 48 hours, Sophie Cunningham's brand exploded. Her TikTok went from 400K to 1.2 million followers. Her Instagram jumped by hundreds of thousands. Her Fever jersey? Completely sold out. One agency estimated getting that kind of growth would normally cost over $1 million in marketing. But Sophie did it with a foul and a fine. A $400 move turned into a seven-figure branding jackpot. While the league penalized her, she cashed out, and fast. But here's the dark part. The WNBA, the same league trying to find Sophie Cunningham, is quietly drowning in debt. Despite 2024 being its most watched, most talked about season ever, reports say the league still lost anywhere from $4 million to as much as $50 million. Think about that. Record-breaking visibility and still operating in the red. So where's the disconnect? Let's stop pretending we don't know. Her name is Caitlin Clark, and the truth is hard to ignore. The media might spin this as a strong rookie class or growing parity, but the numbers don't lie. In 2024, viewership on ESPN platforms jumped by 170%. Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever appeared in 18 of the 21 most watched games. When Clark missed 5 games in June 2025 due to injury, ratings plummeted by 55%. She's not just part of the story. She is the story. You'd expect the most valuable player in the league, the face of the sport, to be paid accordingly. Right? Here's the gut punch. Caitlin Clark's official WNBA salary for the 2025 season is just $7,866, not per game, total. Meanwhile, Sophie Cunningham, the enforcer who became a viral star off Clark's name, makes over $100,000. Let that sink in. The league pays the bodyguard more than the superstar dot, of course. Clark has outside deals. That legendary 8-year, $28 million Nike contract? That's proof of her real worth. But the league, the one she basically carries on her back, pays her less than an entry-level desk job. That's not just unfair. That's insane. Is it reasonable for Sophie Cunningham to make more from the league than Caitlin Clark? Let us know in the comments, because this isn't just about pay, it's about priorities. And this is where the story flips. Because what we're seeing now isn't sports economics anymore. It's something brand new. A fragile, volatile system built not on stats, but on narrative-driven value. In this new world, your marketability matters more than your stat sheet. Your drama, your story, your moments, they pay more than MVP trophies. The game is changing. And Caitlin Clark? She's the first true superstar of this new economy. Their role in what we now call the Caitlin Clark cinematic universe is no accident. Everything now comes down to proximity. Direct involvement with Caitlin Clark, the league's leading figure, is the fastest way to grow your brand. Shift the spotlight and cash in. Whether you're seen as the protector, the villain, or the rival, you're in the storyline, and that's where the value is. No one proves this better than Sophie Cunningham. On paper, she's just a reliable role player, 5 points, 4 rebounds per game in 2025. Solid, but nothing headline-worthy. But this new league economy doesn't reward stats, it rewards moments. And one single dramatic act of enforcement flipped her whole value. In real time, Sophie's image, the feisty Sophie nickname, her intense playing style, transformed into a brand. Suddenly she wasn't just gritty. She was marketable. The media leaned into it, even pulling from her past, like getting a black belt in Taekwondo at age 6 to build the legend of the league's newest enforcer. Her stats stopped mattering. Her role in the Clark narrative became everything. And, whether Sophie knew it or not, she had just written the blueprint, a new kind of gold rush. Other players saw it. Tie yourself to the Clark storyline. Create friction, and you could rise faster than any MVP. But this isn't just a player issue anymore. It's a league crisis. Because now players are realizing breaking the rules is more profitable than following them. How do you police that? Even the league's most respected leaders are cracking under pressure. And it's not just analysts or fans, it's coaches. There's now an open civil war on the sidelines. On one side, you have Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White. She didn't just tolerate Sophie's move, she praised it. Sophie's a dog, she said. She plays with toughness. She's versatile. She's going to be huge for us all season. To White, that hard foul wasn't dirty. It was a tone-setting statement. But on the other side, Connecticut Sun's head coach Rashid Mission saw the same play and called it a total disgrace. He said it was unsportsmanlike, a cheap shot in a game that was already won by 17 points. 2 coaches, 1 event. 2 completely opposite reactions. But perhaps the most important perspective came from someone who wasn't even in the arena. Las Vegas Aces coach Becky Hammon, a respected voice in basketball mind, gave a take that changed everything. She didn't defend the foul, but she explained it. Players are sick of getting hit, she said. Too much grabbing, too much bumping, and fouls are going uncalled. This is what happens. That wasn't just a quote, it was a direct shot at the league office. Hammond made it clear, players have lost faith in officiating. So they're taking things into their own hands. So now we're left with the question, who's right? Do you support Coach White's unapologetic defense? Mission's plea for sportsmanship? Or Hammond's criticism of a broken system? Comment your pick, because this divide is exposing a real turning point in WNBA history. The league now faces a fork in the road. 2 very different futures. The first? The laissez-faire model. This idea says, let the drama play out. Clark's rise is good for business. Her rivalries and tension generate engagement. They sell tickets. They bring eyes. And honestly, that's working. But the second path is the asset protection model. This is about survival. Because if Caitlin Clark, the league's most important player, suffers a serious injury, the entire house of cards could fall. We already got a preview. Clark missed 5 games, and national TV ratings dropped 55%. That's catastrophic. If the WNBA wants a future, it needs to protect its golden goose with hard suspensions, serious consequences, and real leadership. So, which option did the league choose? Neither. they froze. After reviewing the game, Marina Mabrey's foul was upgraded. But Sophie Cunningham? Just a $400 fine. No suspensions. No message sent. The league tried to be neutral and ended up looking lost. That wasn't discipline. It was weakness. And that's when the truth hit. The Sophie Cunningham situation didn't just show us one dirty play. It revealed the economic engine behind the new WNBA. Players have figured out the cheat code. Tie yourself to Caitlin Clark's story and your value explodes. Drama now earns more than trophies. Branding outweighs performance. And instead of stopping it, the league is encouraging it by refusing to draw the line. Crime now pays in the WNBA, and it pays big. This is the fuse. And someone else will light it soon. Because this isn't over. So what's your theory? Did Sophie Cunningham outsmart a broken system? Is she a marketing genius or a ticking time bomb? Will this narrative-driven model take the WNBA higher? Or tear it down from within? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe the real story is always behind the scenes, subscribe and turn on notifications, because we're not done digging. And finally, share this with someone who needs to understand the real game behind the WNBA. Because the biggest plays, they don't happen on the court anymore.